so going to regret doing this.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining us here at Book Blather. If you're new here, I'm Dave, this is Olive, and we mostly talk about books. So I don't even know why we're doing this. If you've been around a while, you know we don't actually do tags very often. It's usually just it's like a special tag that we'll do, you know. So this was created by Kat over at Ginger Bibliophile Reads, and probably partially a little responsible for it. So I guess if Kat could get up the courage to do this and put in all the effort for it, and she tagged us, then the least we can do is we can do it too. So it's a very, very creative tag that she did, and so ours is not going to be as fun to watch, of course. So those of you that may need to shield your eyes, now's your opportunity, but we're going to go ahead and do it. This is the belly dancing and books tag. I think I got that right. So we got to do. I had to keep going watching Kat's video to see how to do the moves. I'm still not going to get it right, but we'll do our best, right, Olive? We're going to do our best. You're going to be my coach. Okay, so the first one is, this is hip circles. What's a basic comforting book you keep going back to? So the hip circles, right? Okay. Oh, I got to put my arms out like this, I guess. I think that's how the belly dancers do it. What do you think, Al? Is that good? So that's supposed to be, that's a basic move. So it's, what's a basic comforting book you keep going back to? So for this, I feel like I keep showing this book, but this is our comforting book that we've gone back to way more times than anything else. And this is Dragonlance Chronicles, the first one, Dragons of Autumn Twilight. You can tell from the looks of it that we have read this at least partially many times, and we read it in full a few times. So that's our comfort book that we keep going back to. All right, the next one is Shoulder Shimmies. I think there's our attempt at shoulder shimmies. You can tell us if we're doing a good job. Okay, that was awful. So the shoulder shimmies, that's shaking. What's a book that makes you shiver with fright? So I was thinking about this. You know, there's not a lot of books that actually like make us like really scared, but like we've read a couple by Laurel Hightower. This is one called Below. And so these are actually, I was trying to think of what are books that like actually, where we're actually nervous while we're reading it. Like we're actually tense about, like what's going to happen the next minute. And I actually probably wouldn't have picked this book first. I would have picked Hightower's book Crossroads, I think, first, which was a phenomenal book. But I liked that so much I gave it away. I wanted somebody else to read it. So I may have got that a couple times and given it away a couple times. But anyway, I've also got numerous copies of this and gave multiple copies of this away. This was very a similar type of thing. That also good. Really kept me like on the edge of my seat. So I wouldn't say it's like the most phenomenal. These aren't like the most phenomenal horror books that I've ever read. But they like really they really, like, they kept me nervous. And so I guess that satisfies the shaking with fright. Actually, I'm going to amend that. Crossroads is one of the better horror novels that I've ever read. So, okay. Body Roll. Okay. I think that's how Kat did it. I'm butchering it, but I don't know. What do you think, Olive? Am I doing that right? It's like the... I don't know. That's the best I can do. So that is Body Roll. What's a book where you got lost and just had to roll with whatever the author said was going on? So for that one, I would say This Is How You Lose the Time War. So this is a lot of talk about this book. It was Amal El Motar and Max Gladstone. So this was one of those books that people either love it or hate it. I mean, a lot of people love this book. prose was good, but it was, I like had no idea what was going on with a lot of this book. And this book was, so this book was written, it was actually written by two people. They would like write the letters basically to each other, which is what was happening in the story. It's like this really surreal, futuristic time war going on, and these two are time agents that are like on opposite sides, and through their notes to each other, that even though they're enemies at first, through their notes to each other, they start to develop a powerful relationship. But I found it really hard to follow. It's hard to explain, but just the format of it was they would go to these different times, different environments, and it was really hard to visualize. And then something else would come behind them, like, that was kind of the way the story was told. And it was, to me, it was like really, really hard to like, follow what was. I didn't really understand what was going on half the time. But I just rolled with it. I just went with it and went. It's not a super long book, and just pushed through. And I just went with whatever the author said. But I didn't really like grasp it all. All right. Now the last one was not the last one. The next one is Figure Eights. What book had a complicated storyline? So Figure Eights. All right, Olive. Tell me if I know. You want one of these? I'm putting you through all this. Here. Figure Eights. I think that's the gist. I got it, right? I got it, I think. Pretty much. I don't know. That's pretty bad, I think. Well, anyway, so that's Figure Eights. What book had a complicated storyline? So for that, Gardens of the Moon by Steven Erikson. This is the first book in a very long epic fantasy series. Malazan or Malazan, depending on how different people pronounce it different ways. These books are known for being tough, but this is very complicated book. I did enjoy it, but it was very, very complicated. It's media res. You get thrown in the middle of this massive war in this big world with lots of different groups and characters and types of creatures or people, and it's a lot. It's a really complicated story, and you get thrown right in the middle of it, and it's really hard. We talked about this some before in some of the live streams, where it's like a lot of people say like you got to be an experienced fantasy reader before you tackle this series, and I think that's true because I got like a book and a half into the series, and I put it aside, and I said I'm going to come back to that maybe like 10 years from now and try again because it's good, but it's complicated. Okay, and Travel Step. I think that's all right. You tell me if I'm doing it right, Olive. I think those are the hip hops. What do you think? Good? Good enough. All right. What is a travel step? What is a new release you can't wait to run out and get? So, I think this is very clever. All these belly dance moves that the prompts went really well with them. So I think Kat did a great job with this. So, a new release you can't wait to run out and get. So for that, I would say Shroud by Adrian Tchaikovsky. If you've been around a while, you know we love Adrian Tchaikovsky, science fiction writer, and some fantasy. We haven't read his fantasy yet, but we've read a number of his science fiction novels by now. We love everything we read by him, and he's got one coming out called Shroud. I'll put a picture of it because obviously I don't have it yet. But this is about some people get stranded. This is a very inhospitable planet. A lot of like mining or whatever, going to all these different planets, and this particular one is really bad for a lot of reasons. For humans should not go down there, very inhospitable, but these people like crash land down there, and they have to like make it across the planet, and so it's an adventure, and there's some like dominant species down there that they learn about while we're down there. And it just sounds really cool, like in traditional Tchaikovsky fashion. So I don't know if we'll get, I think the paperback comes out in April, at the end of April. I'm pretty sure. So I don't know that we're going to run right out and get it, because we actually have a big backlog right now. But we are excited to go out and get that one soon after it comes out. Okay. And so the last one is to tag some folks. Let's spread the books and the booty, shaking good time. Cat tagged a lot of people I would have tagged. So there's not a lot of people. Most people would have tagged she already got. So, but I'm going to tag a few. I'm going to tag a few that I wonder if a lot of people are gonna, muster up the courage to do this one. But I have some faith. So there are a few people that I would really like to see do this, but I don't know if they will. So throwing the gauntlet down, see if they have the gumption to get out there and do this one. So the first one is Michael K. Vaughn. So let's see if he can do it. Next is Ollie from Criminale. Would love to see Ollie do this one. Nicole from Nicole's Bookish Nook. I think Nicole might be a little more likely to muster up the gumption to do this one. We'll see. Crystal from Fiverr Artsy. We have the courage, Crystal. And then one more actually who I think probably would like to do this one. And we'll see if I'm right about that. And that's Rumpus from the Mild Rumpus. So those are the people that I'm tagging. There's some that Cat already tagged I would really like to see do this. So I hope everybody gives it a shot. If I can do it, you can do it. So thanks, Cat. Thanks so much for doing this tag. This was really, really super creative. I thought it was a lot of fun. I'll give you a lot of credit for being the first one, create this and get out there and do it. So this was fun. This is a good one. So okay, well, as always, thanks so much for watching, guys, especially this one. We appreciate it. And we'll see you again very soon. But in the meantime, take care of yourselves and each other, and we'll see you next time.